My first thoughts are with the families of those who've lost loved ones, including British citizens. I've been on the telephone today to the Australian Prime Minister and the Dutch Prime Minister. They've suffered appalling loss of life as well, and also been in contact with the Malaysians, and we're making other calls today so we can share the information that we have between us.
I know that I speak for all of us here when I acknowledge our deep sadness following yesterday's disaster in the Ukraine. For all of us who have lost fellow countrymen and women in the tragedy, words cannot do justice to our sense of loss. For Australians and for our Malaysian brothers and sisters in the Commonwealth, the crash is a particularly cruel tragedy coming so soon after the loss of MH370.
The United States will offer any assistance we can to help determine what happened and why. And as a country, our thoughts and prayers are with all the families of the passengers wherever they call home.
Es geht jetzt darum, dass schnellstmöglich eine unabhängige Untersuchung eingeleitet wird. Dazu ist ein Waffenstillstand notwendig, und es ist dann natürlich wichtig, dass auch Verantwortliche zur Rechenschaft gezogen werden. Es gibt sehr, sehr viele Indizien dafür, dass es sich um einen Abschuss handelt des Flugzeugs, und deshalb müssen wir die Dinge sehr, sehr ernst nehmen.
We must and we will find out precisely what happened to this flight. No stone will be left unturned. If it transpires that the plane was indeed shot down, we insist that the perpetrators must swiftly be brought to justice.
The initial response of the Russian ambassador was to blame Ukraine for this, and I have to say that is deeply, deeply unsatisfactory. We all know that there are problems in Ukraine. We also know who is very substantially to blame for those problems, and the idea that Russia can somehow say that none of this has anything to do with them because it happened in Ukrainian airspace, frankly does not stand up to any serious scrutiny.
The positive engagement of the Russian government is critical, is going to be critical, and initial signs suggesting that this is all the fault of the Ukrainian government are surely, you would agree, not at all encouraging.
Well, what is absolutely necessary is for all governments to cooperate in every way they can to get to the bottom of what happened, to make sure that this site can be properly investigated, to make sure that the bodies of loved ones can be properly recovered. All governments, the Russian government, the Ukrainian government, all of them must do everything they can so that we get to the bottom of what happened in this absolutely dreadful loss of life.